Okay, hello everyone and good evening. Welcome to tonight's session. I am delighted to be hosting us in this last session of today. Yes, Ahmed. Yeah, good evening. I can see you from here. Good evening. I hope you are doing well. Okay. We're excited that our training has come this far. We started 2 weeks ago to look at a lot of things that we have done so far. So we are glad that we've been able to make it this far. And today is like um, one of the biggest day for us because we are going to look at a lot of things today. Okay. Okay. So you're all welcome. You're all welcome. We are glad. Okay. So 1 minute, please. Okay. So today we are going to talk about a very powerful tool as far as data analytics is concerned, and that tool is Power BI. So Power BI is a business intelligence tool that is used for analysis by most data analysts. So it is a tool that we use in carrying out business intelligence, just like the name implies. Okay, please just 1 minute. I'm trying to bring up my screen. Um, yeah, trying to bring up my screen. It will be up in just a few moments. Okay, okay, all right. Um, okay, um, okay. So Power BI you can is a Microsoft tool that is used by most professionals for data analysis and stuff like that. I'll send you a link if you want to download it and use it. I will use it in our master's class. We spend a whole month learning this powerful tool, so you can leverage it to carry out your analysis. So, why is my screen not coming up? Okay, 1 minute. Let me reshare this screen. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sure you can see my screen from your end. Um, okay. So if you look under here, this is a tool we call Power BI, and is a tool for data analysis. So I'll just open it up without wasting much time so that we can continue. So the Power BI is one place you can easily carry out your data analysis, and then you also have the opportunity to um, build your charts quickly. Unlike yesterday, we spent a lot of time trying to bring up pivot tables and all of that, trying to set our data right to get our visualizations. But Power BI is not like that. It is a tool that is built mainly for data visualization. So in that case, without much, so the first thing I have to do is when you open up your Power BI, this is what the interface looks like. This is what the interface looks like. So you first of all have to decide what you want to do. But for us, I want to proceed to a blank report. And one good thing about Power BI is that you can connect it to a lot of data sources. You can connect it to a lot of data sources. So please, drop a comment for me. Tell me, let me know if you are seeing my screen. If you are seeing my screen properly, drop a message so that I can know that you are following along. Okay, just drop a message, or you can say I can see, or any message of your choice. Okay, so I'm going to click on this blank report to open up the Power BI. So when you open up the Power BI for the first time, it will look like this on the blank report. So as you can see here, it's almost like it almost looks like Excel, but it's not Excel, but it is still built by the same Microsoft that owns Excel, but it is not Excel. It's a more powerful tool for business intelligence. So you can see from here, we have over here, we have data pane, which is where all our data um, is going to be showing up. We have visualizations. So under these visualizations, you can see different kind of charts here, all of them which have specific purpose that they can perform. We'll see how we are going to use them. We also have the filters here for filtering our data. We are going to see all of that tonight. Okay. So on the interface, we have different tabs, and we have different like four views. So the first view here is this is the report view where we are going to build our report, and we also have the model view. We have not put any model yet, so no model is showing here. Okay. Okay, so you can also come to model view where we are going to build our data models here. And the last one is DAX, which we are going to see how we are going to build a few DAX today. DAX here means data analysis expression. Is a small programming language between the Microsoft Fabrics, which helps us to analyze data. Okay. All right. So without much ado, I will go ahead and import the data that I'm going to be using for this analysis today. So the data is on my system. I'm going to share it just like I shared the previous class. I shared the data set for previous class. I'm going to also share this one so that you can gain access to it and practice along, because practice is what is going to make you to perfect this skill. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to get data. Now, when you go to get data, there are so many data sources within There are so many data sources here which you can connect to, and the scope of this class will not permit us to go through each of them. I think there are over 90 something sources which you can go through to connect data, any form of data that you need. So for tonight, we have an Excel workbook to connect. So I'll just click on Excel. From there, it will take me to my system. So this is the data I want to analyze tonight, which is this Adventure Works data set. Is a publicly available data set. So we'll just use it for the purpose of practice. So I'm going to open it up. So you can, as you can see, it's loading and trying to bring in the data. So when it's loaded and it's bringing in the data, um, the data contains the file here is more like a database which contains data for different aspects of a business. You can see we have dimension table for customers, dimension table for dates, dimension table for geography, which has to do with the location. We have dimension table for the products, dimension table for the territory, and we also have the facts internal sales, that is the facts table. So I'm going to bring in all of them by checking these boxes beside them. You can see once I check the boxes, we are having a preview loading over here. So I'll just go ahead and tick all of them because I want to use all of them for my analysis. So this is really a big data set, and one of the reasons that you want to use um, Microsoft Power BI is Microsoft Excel has limitations in terms of data. It cannot really take in huge amounts of data. Once the data is above around, I think 2 million records or thereabouts, it will crash your Microsoft Excel. But you can comfortably put a lot of data into. You can easily put a lot of data into this Microsoft Power BI for your analysis. Okay, so after you have checked all these boxes, the next thing you have to do is you go to the look under here. You would have noticed that while all these were not selected, while all these were not selected, let me deselect them. While they were not selected, there was nothing here for you to either load or transform. But once you start clicking it, two options will pop up for either for you to load the data directly. That is, you load the data directly if you don't want to carry out data cleaning, because you cannot really analyze data without cleaning it. It's just like going to the market to buy food stuff and cooking them without having to clean it and sort them into the right piece. So that's why I'm going to use transform, so that we use the Power Query Editor, which is a powerful data cleaning tool within our Power BI to clean up our data. So guys, yeah, it's going to be a wonderful experience. If you are ready, let me feel your voice from the comments. Let me hear that you are ready to get into the data cleaning. So the next phase is where we are going to clean our data. So let me feel the excitement. Let me know if you are really ready for the next phase. All right. So the next thing I'll do is to click on transform. So when I click on transform, it's going to take me, what did I click on? Okay. Yeah. So when I click on the transform, it's going to take me into the Power Query Editor. So the Power Query Editor is where I can actually clean up my data very neatly. And then I can also look at the quality of the data to know if the data is okay or not. Fortunately enough, our data is not that dirty, but in real life, data is always very messy. That's why you can't say that you're a data analyst or you know how to analyze data, by following online tutorials or stuff like that, because the data that are always used are always almost very clean without much problem, because if you are to analyze data for 6 hours, you may spend like 4.5 hours on data cleaning alone. So nobody wants to bore you with that kind of long tutorial. That's why it's advisable to, if you want to become a data analyst, you have to enroll for our master's class to get your hands dirty. We'll challenge you. We would give you the tasks that will help to bring out the best in you. Okay, now let's start cleaning up our data. Let's start from the top. Let's start from this table. Just click on this table. And before we go into that, let me take us do a little tour into the Power Query Editor. So this Power Query Editor here, just like we have in Excel, has the file where we can use to save our files. We have the Home tab. The transform is where all the most of the magic happens. So the transform is where you can easily manipulate your data, clean it, and remove every form of anomalies from your data. And then we also add column where you can create a new column for your data using different rules depending on what you want to do. We also have the views. Now, if you notice, all this data quality and all of these things that are here are as a result of this view. So for example, if I unclick the quality, it goes off. If I unclick the distribution, it goes off. So all this gives you an insight into what your data is about. For example, the distribution will let you to know whether you are to use the mean for your analysis, or you have to use the median for your analysis. All these things are things that you will get to learn. A one-time tutorial on Power BI, even though I'm going to do it for Microsoft, I think I've seen a 30-hour Microsoft Power BI tutorial. So even with that, there are a lot of gaps in between. So let's start with these customers. So the first thing I want to do is I want to select the columns that I'll need for this analysis. So I'll go to Home. I'm getting to Home. I would now move to here where I have Choose Columns. So Choose Columns allows you to select those columns that you want to use for your analysis, while letting go those that you don't want for your analysis. So I'll click on Choose Columns. So it's going to list out all the columns that are available in this data. So in terms of customers information, now one important thing you should know about data analytics is you should always avoid to touch anything that it says that is a key, like all these keys. So you leave them. So first of all, I'll deselect everything by clicking on uh, deselecting the select all. So I first of all select my keys, because the keys will be used for data modeling. Modeling means joining different tables together for the purpose of analysis. So there are some information here that are not important to me, like the name style. I don't need it, but I need the birth date. I don't need the marital status. I want the gender. I would like to get the customer's email. I don't want to know his yearly income or total number of children and other information like that. But I would need his phone number, so that if I want to call him or her, it will be easy for me to do that. And then I may need the date of first purchase to know how long the customer has been doing business with the organization. So with that, I'll just click OK, and then all the changes I've made immediately, all those columns that I have deselected will go away. Now, if you look over here, we have the applied steps pane here, which shows the steps that we have taken in our analysis. And if there is a step that you don't want to use anymore, you can just exit to remove it from your workflow. Okay, so going forward, we have to look into the data again. We have the customer key, geographic key, customer alternative key, but in the customer name, we have the first name, the middle name, and the last name. So I would like to have all of this in one column. Let this person be John Vian or Elizabeth Johnson instead of having the three columns for the name because because that could really cause a lot of challenge in our analysis. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press the control key on my keyboard. So I'll press control and then I will select the three columns. So after pressing control and selecting the three columns to highlight the three of them, what I now have to do is to go to transform, and then from the transform, I'll go to mesh columns. I'll go to mesh columns here to turn those three columns into a single column. So now they'll ask me for a separator. This separator is here is how do I want to separate each of the names? So I want to separate it with a space. So I'll just choose space. And then what name do I want to call it? I want to call it customer name. Sorry. I'll call this customer name. Okay, yeah, name. So the customer name, I'll just click OK. So immediately you notice that the name here has been adjusted immediately. The name has been adjusted immediately. So looking at the quality, this data is okay. I think with this, I can move to the next table. So we are going to do this for all the tables. So for the dates table, I'm not going to waste much time. For this one, I just need one of these columns to use in creating my dates because it contains a lot of dates here. I'm going to create a dates table actually, which would help me for my analysis. It even contains the French month name and all of that, month number of the year and all of that. But since I'm going to create a dates table, I'm going to just use a trick. So I'll select the column that I want. So this date is okay, it's 100% okay here. And then it is error free and there's no empty. So what I'll do to it is I'll right click on it and then there's an option for me to remove other columns. So I'll just click on that option to remove all other columns. So this is the only column that remains. So I'm going to call it date. Instead of having a long name for it, I'll call it dates. Okay, so after I have done that, I can move on to the next table, which has to do with the geography or the location. So I'll go to choose columns. From home, I'm going to choose the columns that I need for my analysis. So I click on choose columns. Okay, all right. Oluwa, you're saying you are ready. Thank you very much. Can see Austin. Good evening, sir. You're welcome. Okay, so based on the geography now, we have a lot of information here. So let's see those ones that we need or not. So let's deselect all. We have the geography key, city. So I always tell you that anytime that you see a key, always leave it. So we have the city, the province name, blah 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 blah, region, English country name, Spanish, French, postal code, and then we have a key here, sales territory key, which is important. Okay, let's start from with this one. So state province name, let's rename it to province. So I just double clicked on it and I'm going to rename it to province because the name is not descriptive. The name was, oops, what did I do? Let me check again. Okay, this is state province code. I don't think I need this code. I'm going to remove the column. So I work with the state province name. I'll call this province. Okay, and then Country region code. I don't want this country region code. I don't want it, so I'm going to remove it. Country region name. So I think this is the region. Uh, English country region. So this should be the region. Okay, but I've not seen the country name. I've not seen the country name. So let me go back and see if there's something I can do. Let me go to choose columns again. If there's something that you did that you want to undo, you can always come back. Um, okay. Um, Let me revert this step. I think this was a step. Um, yes, I'll delete this step. Okay, so that I can see what went wrong. I've not seen the country name, the name of the country. Okay, okay. All right, in that case, let me just leave it that way. Just use, let me just leave it by, okay, by that. I think this region is actually the country because I can see France. France is not a region. United Kingdom is not a region, but a country. So I'm going to change this to country. That's what I always say. In order to analyze data, you should know exactly what you're doing and you should follow along with it. Okay, so I have the country, I have the province here. Okay, that's looking good already. So let's look at the products table. Okay, okay, yeah, can see a lot of problems in this table. So let's go ahead and choose columns first so that we'll know those, oops, we'll know those columns that we want to use for our analysis. Okay, there are so many columns in here. So I'll deselect all first, and then I'll just pick up the keys, which are very important. I have English product name. Okay, I'll need the product name. Spanish, French, standard, blah, blah, blah. All of those ones I don't need. Okay, I need the color of the product. That could be important to me. And then maybe I'll need the class if I want to. Okay, so let me just add these dates here and the status first. The rest of it are not really important to me. Okay, so let's see what we've got so far. Uh, we have the product subcategory key, English products name. So let's change this to products name because we are using English. There's no point saying it's English products name. So we can just use the product's name and then let's see. We have the class. Okay. And then we have the color. So in the color, you can notice that there are a lot of NA, that is, it shows that the data is not available. So what we can do to this is we can change the NA there to unspecified. So I'm going to right click and then I'll go to replace values. So I want to replace values. I'll click OK. So it will ask me the value that I want to replace. Now I'm going to replace the NA with let's just use unspecified. Unspecified. Okay, now NA here means not available. So normally now this replace, you should know that the replace is case sensitive. So if I enter it as small letters instead of capitals that are there, it's not going to work. So you just see that everything here has been changed to unspecified because probably the people that enter this data did not really consider adding the name of the color of, sorry, yeah, the color of the products. So yeah, so far data is looking good. So in terms of sales territory, let's see. We have sales territory group, sales territory country. I think I can just convert this to country. Okay. And then, okay. Then if you come down here, this says sales territory image. There's nothing here, so we can just remove the column because it contains just nulls. So why we need to remove all these excess columns is so that our data will, what happened? Okay, let me just filter out this not available so that we can remove this last one. This record 11 does not contain anything, so I just filtered it out. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Let's continue to the last table. So this is how you clean your data before you analyze. So before you even touch any tool to analyze your data, it is important that you take time to clean up your data so that it will come out fine, so that you can trust the insights that you get from your data. So from here, let me choose columns from this one and see what is even inside the data. So it contains important information like the product key, order, the blah blah blah, ship date key. So you just keep all the keys. Just keep all the keys because it is what you'll be using your data modeling. And I'm going to show you what I mean by data modeling soon. So we have sales order number, sales order days, that we have order quantity, units price. I will need that discount, total product cost, product standard cost, sales amount. Okay, let me just add this date in case I will need it. I don't think I need tax and all of those things in here. Okay, so that's looking good already. Okay, that's a lot of cleaning. If we have any other thing that we want to clean in this data set, we can always come back to do that in the course of our maybe analyzing our data. So what I would want to do it now is to come to where I have close and apply, and then I'll click on this drop down here to close and apply what I have done. So to close and apply. So it's going to apply the changes. And remember now, we don't have data here. So once those changes are applied, our data is going to show up here. So let's give it time to load. At this point, if you have any question, you can drop your question in the comment section. I'm going to see it. I would read it out and attend to it. So let me know if you have any question right now so that I can look at it and attend to it immediately. So as you can see, the data is loading. So what is doing at this point is transferring the data that we have transformed into our we have transformed from the Power Query editor into the Power BI, and then building a model for us. So as you can see now, all our data are now available here. So we can see all the data that we brought up. We can see all the data that we brought up here. So all of them are contained here, including everything. Okay, so we'll start to carry out some magic to see how our analysis is going to flow. Okay, but before we start analyzing our data, let's go to the table view to see all our data in there and how each of them are structured as a table. Okay, just give you 1 minute for the data to load. Let's just give it a minute. The data is going to load up. So you see that all our data that we had, those ones we had cleaned up are just here. All the tables are available here. Okay. Okay, all of them are here, just the way we had kept them. And here too, you can still carry out some cleaning. For example, if you have a table that you don't want again, for example, this currency key, for example, if for example I don't want it again, I can from here delete it. Asking if I'm sure I want to delete it, I say yes. If I'm sure I can delete it and it will no more be contained in what we're analyzing. So this interface is very flexible in terms of analyzing our data. It's very flexible. So the next thing is the model view. Okay, let me close this ones up so that we can see what is happening in our model. So in terms of data modeling, if we're using Microsoft Excel, we'll have to do this manually by connecting these models. But as you can see, Excel is smart enough to be able to connect most of the tables for us. So data modeling is actually beyond the scope of this class because it's one of the key concepts in uh, Power BI. In fact, in every form of data analytics, you carry out your data modeling because you'll be working with different tables. So when you join those different tables together, that is what we mean by data modeling. So, but if you see, we have a problem here. The date key has not been connected. That is because there is no other table that, okay, the date table here, the dimension dates here, has not been connected to any other table because there is no table that has a similar um, what should I call it? That has a similar column like this one. So we have to manually look for a table that we can connect a date with. Okay, so we have other dates here. So let's try to connect this one to the other dates and see if we can establish a relationship. Okay, relationship can be established between them. And this kind of relationship is what we call the many to one relationship. Yes, many to one. We can't explain that now because of this constraint we have for the class. Okay, so after making sure that our model is okay, we can now go back to our report view. All right, now this is where the work starts. So Power BI is a very wonderful tool, and within minutes you can build a dashboard, like a neat, clean dashboard, by just clicking and dropping a few things. Everything is going to be okay for you. For example, if for example I want to look at the um, the sales amount, that is the total sales for this organization, all I just need to do is to drag the sales. Let me expand this a bit. So all what I just need to do is to drag the sales amount and then I drop it in the canvas. So once I do that, it's it gives me a chart that shows this. So if I want to show it as a card, remember as a maybe a KPI. So what I just need to do is to maybe choose a kind of KPI card I want to use for it, and immediately it's going to come up, give me something like this, and I can just clean it up and then I drop it here. Yeah, drop it somewhere here, and that is just how simple it is. So if you will notice, unlike yesterday that we used Excel, unlike Excel that required that we should build first of all the pivot tables, and then we start looking for a way to organize and arrange everything. All those work have been left out when we are using Power BI. Okay, so yeah, so it will take away all those things from us. So it is that simple. It is that simple. And then if, for example, maybe I want to see the sales by territory or the sales by the different countries. So it's very easy to navigate through it. So I can just bring up these cells again. I'll just click it and drag it. I'll just click and drag. This guy is not moving with me. Okay. Oh, sorry. This one is highlighted, so I have to click out in an open space. Okay. So I want to look at the sales. Hmm, okay. The sales by territory. Okay. So if I want to look at the sales amount, and then I want to compare it by maybe the, what should I use? Should I use the country? Okay, let's see. Want to break it up by the country. Okay, so you can see that a chart will come up that shows the sales by the different country for me. And the good news is that in this country, I can decide, okay, I want this to come out in a map. Yeah, I think it should. Yes, it should come out in form of a map. So it will automatically detect the country on the map, and you have different kinds of map that you can choose from. So it will automatically, okay, I'm not going to use, let me use field map. So it will automatically detect where each of the countries are for you. So Power BI is very, very powerful indeed when it comes to analyzing our data. But first of all, I would have to delete this table for now. Okay. What I want to do is now is I want to write some DAX. DAX means data analysis expression, DAX. So if you come down here, you will see DAX here, which means the data analysis expression, where you can write queries and get results. Okay, so in this case, I have already written out some DAX. Let me try to pull them out from where I put them. How did I saw this drive? I think it's on my drive. Let me try to locate it from my drive. It's just 1 minute. I'm going to be able to pull that out. Okay. Um, oops. Can I find that file? What was the name? Is it DAX? Okay, yeah. I think that's the file. So let me just okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to create a date table. Now, in terms of this date table, it's going to be a date that will contain different formats of my dates. I can actually code this out, but I wouldn't want to do that because of the time constraints that we have. So I'll navigate to the model view, and then I'll go to new table. So I want to create a new table and add to the table that we have so that we can see different dates. So once this different table appears, so it is asking me for a table, a formula that I want to use to build my dates. So in this formula, I am using different functions and formulas that are available in DAX. This is I can't explain all of this tonight, but it's just a formula I have built in DAX to use in creating a table that will contain different dates. So will contain things like months, number, those things I deleted before, the short month, quarter, year quarter, week number, day, So I'll just, after that, I either press OK or I will commit it. So once I do that, um, a new table almost came up, but it's telling me that there is another table that bears that name. Okay, so it couldn't create it. All right, so I would paste it again. I will just call it, I'll call it date table. Date table. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it has created a table which is called the date table for me. Okay, so this is now my date table. So I can decide to join it to another table because oops, you must always create a relationship between your tables before you can filter data between them. So I will just let me just try to connect it to this date here. Okay, this date to this date. I think I can shift away a little and see. Okay, as long as it's still date, it's going to accept it. So I would connect it that way. So that one has a one-to-one relationship. Data modeling, well, is a very important thing in data science generally. So especially data analytics. So it's something that will really take time to look at if we want to. Okay, so we have used DAX now. That is data analysis expression. First of all, to build a date table. So there are other DAX that I wrote here, which we can make use of. We can use, for example, we can look at things like maybe the total revenue. We can build that, the total cost, the total profit. Okay, so let's build these ones. Let's build these ones. First of all, let me build the total revenue, which has to do with the total sales that has been made. So I would just bring it here, but I'm not going to build it from here. So I would come to the uh, the report view, and then I'll go to since all these ones are related to the fast internet sales, that is our sales table. So I'll click on this sales table, and then from the sales table, I'll say I want to create a new measure. So this is a measure that I want to create. So once I click on that measure, a pop-up will come out where I can easily paste my DAX code, which is the using the sum formula. Now from the sum formula, you choose the this fast internet sales is the name of the table, and then in a square bracket you put the sales amount in it. So I can put that in, and it creates a measure which is the what's the name, total revenue. So this total revenue, now I can just drag it and drop it here. It will give me my total revenue, and then I can choose how I want to format it. So I can put it this way. So it is just the same thing with this guy here. So I can delete this one. So using that to build all these things make your work to be neater and well arranged instead of just building them directly. So you see, it has formatted it for me in millions, making the work very neat. So let me just go ahead and build maybe the total costs. No, let me build total costs and then the total revenue. Okay, let's be patient. So I'll still go to the same table. Am I still on the same table? Okay, yes. So I'll go to new measure, and then from the new measure, I'm going to delete this and paste it. So it is a the total product cost. That is the cost of producing a product. Is what we call the total cost. Okay. So once we build that, let me see. Yeah, this is the total cost here of each of the products, and then I can convert it to this, and then I can align it together. So you see how quickly we are building a dashboard, and in a very interactive way, without stressing ourselves like we did yesterday, going through so many steps. So this one reduces the redundancy of going through a lot of steps. So we can create another DAX, which is the total profit. Profit will be the total revenue minus the cost. So so I can say profit is equals to um, the total revenue minus the total cost. The total cost. Okay. So by that we can just create our profit. So let's see how much profit this company is making. By just doing that, we can use our KPI card. Okay, so after selling 29 million, is making a profit of 12 million naira. So another thing we can do is to look at the profit margin. The profit margin is going to be the profit divided by the total revenue. So let's see. I'll create another one. I go to measure, and then I call this profit margin. Okay. So for us to get our profit margin, we are going to do the like I said, profit margin is the profit divided by total revenue. So we'll say profit. Once you start typing it, we'll bring it up. You can just tap on it, divided by the total revenue. Total revenue, yeah. We want it to come out as a percentage, so I multiply it by 100 at once so that I will not need to format it. Okay, so I want it to the profit margin to come out as a percentage. That's why I decided to multiply by 100 at once, because yeah. So our profit margin here is 41.15%, which is good enough. All right, so that is how simple it is to build dashboard. So what I would like to do is I want to maybe look at the sales by category. So I'll use where's the sales amount, and then I'll segment it by the category. Where's the category? Mm, no, it should be under products. Products as category. So Uh, okay, I've not seen the product category here. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let me just use the class of the products. So how many classes of the products do we have here? Okay, we have one, two, three, four. Let me use maybe a chart like a bar chart to represent that. This doesn't look really good, but it's really telling us a story that the class with the highest is is class H. So if we can play around, look for another chart which will help us to understand better. All these charts are usable. So you experiment the one that would best tell your story because a data analyst in the real sense is a storyteller. Okay, so let me just use this kind of chart. Okay, so this is like my sum of sales by class. Uh, and then one powerful thing about Power BI is that if I click on any of these class here, everything on the KPI card is going to filter. It's going to be filtering everything based on what you are doing. So, so based on this, you can easily analyze your data neatly. So we can also look at maybe the cells we are segmented by maybe let's see the customer. Okay, let's look at the cells by the customer gender. So we want to know the customers, the gender of the customers that are buying our products more. So we put that here, and then we can bring in from the customer, we add gender. Okay, so we can put it in here, and then we can use a chart like maybe the donuts chart to visualize this. So you can see here that what percentage is the male and which percentage is the female. So for the male, we have 49.54. The female, we have 50.46. So what this means is that the margin between the male and the female is not that much. So that really helps us. And if we filter, we can see what the amounts that the female are buying. If we filter again, the one for the male, and then the profit that is being made. So let's see from where are we making more profit? Is it from the male and or the female? So keep your eye on the profits. Keep your eye on the profits now. So when we have this other side here, this is uh, for, if you can see here, we have female is here. So this is for the female. So for the female, the profit margin is 6.10, while for the male is 5.98. So you see, more profit, a little more profit is made from the female than the male. While in terms of total revenue, you can also see once you click on it, you can see the revenue that was generated from each of them. So you just realize that Power BI is a very wonderful tool for your visualization, and it helps you to neatly tell your story with your data. It helps you to neatly tell your story with your data. So there are a lot of things we can do with this data to show how Power BI is used to really analyze our data neatly. So the scope of this class cannot really carry all those things. We cannot do it within the period that we have this class. So it is important that you consider enrolling in our master's class, where we'll take 4 months to train you on how to become a data analyst. So this training, has, I'm sure, has been able to create awareness so that you better understand those things that you need to do, and where you can leverage the power of data analytics to tell a story. So, for example, with this data now, you can easily tell the relationship between the male and female in the data. You can easily know the profit, the revenue, which normally this was just a chunk of data which does not have anything to show you. And uh, within this class, we cannot really do much. This is just like a tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of things that can be done with Power BI, which we cannot cover within the short period that we have. So yeah, so this is Power BI, and is a wonderful, is a powerful tool for data storytelling to help us to present our data in a way that tells a story about it. Okay, guys, let me get your feedback and know how you are faring. If you have questions, post your questions. I'll read them so that we can call it a wrap for tonight. All right. Please drop your questions. If you have any question, observation, something you want me to focus on, something you want me to look at again, I will quickly do that so that we can call it a wrap for tonight. All right. I'm in the comment section. I'm in the comment section. Okay. I'm in the comment section. I'm waiting for your questions. Bring up your questions so that we can at attend to them now. Okay. Okay, please post your questions. Post your questions. Post your questions so that we can attend to them now. If you have any questions, if you have any observation, this is the time to bring them up. All right. Okay, in the absence of any other question, I want to say a very big thank you to all of us who made this training to be possible. Your showing up, your dedication so far has been really helpful. And thank you for taking your growth and development seriously. So from here, we are going to say a good night to you, except you have other questions. But if you have other questions, you can send them to the group, or you can DM me directly. Let's talk. You can call my line. Let's discuss business in terms of the training. All right. Thank you very much once again, and good night.